Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and I hope you guys are all doing well. So on today's episode, it has actually been quite some time since I last uploaded. I uploaded something like 3 weeks ago, I want to say. It's been an absolutely fantastic break, okay? I went to visit family and things like this, and let me tell you, I feel cleansed, okay? I feel cleaner. I feel, so much better having not been listening to women over on TikTok, guys. There is something, fantastic about not listening to crazy women on the internet. But nevertheless, guys, we are back. We are making videos once again. And I thought I might ease into the video creation process, rather than just jump straight back into the TikTok. So we're going to be covering articles for a while, some stories, and boy, do I have a stupid story for you here today. So this one is an absolute classic. You've probably seen many different versions of this story because truthfully, it happens a lot to men. But in this story, we have a fiance, okay? A woman who decided that before the wedding, right, she wanted to have an open relationship. Now, let me just say this, guys, before we jump into the story. I find it funny how women manage to screw this up, all right? But here's the thing. If you have an open marriage, if you have an open relationship, if you guys are on a break, quote unquote, let me just say something. You do not have a marriage. If your marriage is open, it simply does not exist. That's just the way it is. So let's jump into it here. Says, my fiance wants an open relationship. Should I call off the wedding? You absolutely should, my man. He says, the article says, relationships are built on trust, mutual respect, and shared values. But what happens when one partner suddenly wants to rewrite the rules? That is the dilemma that one Reddit user, Alex, who's 34, found himself in when his fiance, who's 27, dropped a bombshell just months before their wedding. Here's his story. So let's jump into it. The backstory. Alex and Lily had been together for 4 years, with the last year spent engaged. Their relationship had its ups and downs, including a rough patch where Lily had an emotional affair with a co-worker. Now, let me just stop you here. Okay, I have seen in these stories many times, guys, like people want to say, oh, the woman had an affair, but don't worry, there was nothing physical going on. It's complete nonsense. It's a complete lie, okay? When women are out here having emotional affairs, you really think they're just out here sending a couple of texts to the dude? No, absolutely not. It's oftentimes the case where if the woman is actually, or even if it's the man cheating, whoever is cheating, right? If that person is caught, usually there's actually a lot more cheating that has been going on before they were caught in the first place. Does that make sense? I see stories where guys are like, yeah, I caught my wife cheating this year and we've been together for like 10 years. And in my head, I'm thinking, my man, she's probably been cheating for a lot longer than you suspect, right? You think that you finally caught your wife cheating, but the wife has been cheating the whole damn time, okay? Let's keep going here. So she had an emotional affair with a co-worker. Alex found out through a mutual friend, and after a lot of arguing, decided to forgive her and move forward. He proposed shortly after, hoping to put the past behind them. You see, guys, this is where I have to, usually in these stories, I roast the women. And don't get it twisted, okay? The woman in this story is a complete clown, cheating on the guy, trying to get an open relationship. I mean, it's open marriage, excuse me. Absolutely disgusting. But I've also got to roast the dudes at a certain point for putting up with this nonsense, okay? For showing forgiveness in instances like this. I understand that forgiveness can be a good thing, all right? But in the context of this is someone you're going to marry, right? This is your future wife. And you're out here, out here forgiving her for speaking to, having these quote unquote emotional affairs with a coworker, which I think we all know what the hell that means, okay? Men just let way too many problems slide, like, oh, she did this, but that's okay because I love her and I want to move forward and I want to be the bigger person or whatever. And it just bites them in the ass every time. Like I think that dudes really need to have a little bit more self-respect when it comes to crap like this, rather than just saying, oh, it's fine. right? And don't get it twisted as well. Men tend to get gaslit about this nonsense, right? Because if you say anything, then you're insecure, you're the problem, right? You're toxic, or I mean, whatever shaming language they feel like using on you at any given point in time. You become the problem if you don't want to put up with this nonsense, which is really sad, man. I think that men, this is why it's so good that men decide to go their own way and not listen to people, right? It's because it saves them from crap like this. Let's continue. But as the wedding date approached, Lily began acting distant. She stopped initiating intimacy. She became withdrawn and seemed preoccupied. Alex chalked it up to wedding stress, but deep down he couldn't shake the feeling that something was off, right? So leading up to the wedding, okay, the intimacy is slowing down. She's withdrawing. I actually see this a lot as well, is when, you know, a lot of guys think that, now let me just, before I say this, I'm not married, all right? I think that marriage is a scam for men. I don't have children, okay? Now, a lot of guys, from what I've seen, seem to think that things are going to get better after marriage. You know, you're with a girl, the intimacy isn't great, or she's trying to manipulate you with intimacy. And the guy's like, well, I can solve this. She wants to get married, and that's going to fix all of our problems. From what I have seen, it only makes the problems worse, man, right? It essentially just becomes a giant nightmare, okay? The intimacy is cut off even further. Oftentimes, they develop even more attitude problems, okay? Women on the one hand will say, listen, I want the commitment, I want the ring, that's why I'm so stressed and blah, blah, blah. But actually, when you give them these things, they just treat you more like garbage. It's crazy how it works, man. I've seen this from plenty of dudes who have been married or whatever. They think that things are going to get better after marriage. I have not seen evidence for that. I really have not. Let's continue. One evening, after a long day at work, Alex came home to find Lily waiting for him with a serious expression. She wanted to talk. I could tell something was wrong, Alex wrote. The vibe was off and my gut was screaming at me to brace for impact. Lily confessed that she had been thinking about their relationship and felt that they needed to explore new dynamics. That is a new one. She brought up the idea of an open relationship, explaining that some of her friends had been discussing it, and she was curious about trying it herself. So let me get this straight. This woman, right, she has a group of friends, quote unquote friends. I love these girls that get on the internet, right, and they claim that they have these fantastic friends, but their friends just encourage them to do the most dumb crap imaginable. You know, guys, like, yeah, I've got this group of fantastic friends, and you know what they encouraged me to do? They encouraged me to go out there and cheat on my wife. Like, these people are not your friends, man. They're absolutely not. People who encourage you to do really morally repugnant things, probably not your best, probably not your friends, probably not your allies. But I always see this from women, man. What's the saying? I think actually Kevin Samuels was the one who said this, guys, but like, single women keep women single. That's so true. It is so damn true. So she has the group of friends at work, and her friends are like, yeah, you should try this whole open relationship thing, open marriage thing. It's absolutely great. I guarantee you these friends are completely unsuccessful in dating. If they were married, they're divorced, like, complete mess. These people are complete messes, man. Right? And I don't take accountability away from the woman either, by the way, for listening to this nonsense. Women always try to claim after they completely ruin their life and ruin their marriages. They're like, oh, I was convinced to, and I was brainwashed. Sorry, you wanted to end up in other dudes' bedrooms. Take accountability for it. I just love how she calls this exploring new dynamics, by the way. That's a creative way to say that you want to hook up with random dudes while you're married. Crazy. So Alex said he was stunned. The idea made me sick, he admitted. I told her straight up that I wasn't interested in sharing her with anyone. I thought we were building a life together, not auditioning for a reality show. That's actually a really great way to put it, by the way. A lot of the women in these stories, in these TikToks and stuff, this actually sums up how I would describe it as well. They think that they're in some sort of a reality show, man. You know, like their life is like this movie where everyone, number one, everyone gives a damn about what they're doing. They need to be posting online to social media all the time. I have, guys, in the course of covering these videos, I have seen wives, many wives, get on the internet and just start trash talking their husband. You know, like this is someone you're supposed to be sharing your life with, and the women are out here posting about your private, intimate lives on TikTok, for goodness sake. And then they wonder why they get divorced. Like and the women get rewarded for the divorcing, mind you. Ridiculous. So Lily tried to justify her request, pulling up blog posts and articles about couples who had successfully navigated open relationships, but Alex wasn't having it. I told her enough was enough. I'm not old-fashioned, but the idea of my wife being with other men is a hard no for me. I didn't sign up for that. What are you, some kind of bigot? What are you, some kind of right-wing conspiracy theorist, my man? How dare you, you insecure man, not wanting your wife to be with other dudes? That's not very, very progressive of you, my friend. Holy hell. Yeah, so this guy, right, he says that he even makes the stipulation, right? I'm not old-fashioned. But even this guy won't put up with his wife being shared by other dudes. What a surprise, guys. Men don't like this. I know it's a real shocker, okay, but sharing their wives and girlfriends with other dudes, not exactly on the bucket list, I would say, for the majority of guys. In fact, all well-adjusted men, all healthy men with any degree of testosterone probably are not interested in this. Let's continue. The conversation escalated into a full-blown argument. Lily accused Alex of being closed-minded, while Alex felt betrayed and disrespected. In the end, he told her that he needed space and left to stay with a friend for the weekend. Good. This is the part where you tell her to pack all her bags and leave. So it's funny, right? Because as this is happening, what does the fiance, the wife, right? What does she say to the man? Okay, she accuses him of being closed-minded. And this is something that I talk about on the channel a lot, guys. This is, this is where the shaming language starts to come out, okay? When men are not comfortable with things, when men say no to something, when men draw a boundary, when men are not interested, right? Just whenever men say no, which, by the way, they're entirely entitled to do. Whenever men say no, it's a problem. But here's the thing. The women can't logically disagree with the no. You see what I mean? So what they have to do is they have to pull out the manipulation. They have to pull out the shaming language, right? Because she's not going to convince the guy logically, because it doesn't logically make sense. The guy obviously doesn't want to have his wife or future wife end up in some random dude's bedroom, right? So you can't logic your way out of this one. So women have devised this excellent plan, guys, to throw out shaming language. Okay, and the problem is you'll have some weak-minded men who will listen to this nonsense. I don't think men should be listening to this at all. I think it's an attack on men. I really do. I see this stuff at a societal level on social media and things like this, man. Like it's so insane. Like you can literally see attacks on men, the gaslighting of men in modern day news legacy media. I'm not even kidding when I say this, guys. Like there are segments on modern day media just attacking men. It's ridiculous. Let's continue. I told her enough was enough. Yeah. Over the next few days, Alex sought some advice from friends and reflected on his relationship. He realized that Lily's request wasn't just about exploring an open relationship. It was a symptom of deeper issues. I don't know what kind of reflection and advice this guy needs other than to throw the whole woman out. I think that we as dudes, we tend to overcomplicate this stuff. Just throw the woman out. I understand that you were with her for years, that she's your fiance, but I'm sorry, my man, you cannot marry that. It's unmarryable, right? It's, delete the save file. Okay, it's over. I couldn't stop thinking about how she cheated before and how I'd let it slide. So he's using language like cheated. So, which makes me think even more that there wasn't emotional cheating. It was actual cheating. I thought I was being the bigger person. Yep, there we go. But maybe I was just being naive. When Alex returned home, he sat Lily down and told her that he couldn't continue the relationship. Excellent stuff. I told her we clearly wanted different things. I didn't want to spend the rest of my life wondering if I was enough for her. It was hard, but I knew it was the right decision. And you see, guys, this is the problem as well. When you go out here and you try and marry women, number one, marriage is a terrible idea. I could just leave the sentence there, couldn't I? Right? But when you try and go out there and you try and marry women or have long-term relationships with women who have been with a whole bunch of different guys, oftentimes you're either going to get the very short end of the stick, right? Or the woman is not going to be satisfied with just you, right? Because she's always going to be thinking about the previous dudes that she was with. A lot of this infidelity stuff, guys, it really, you can really catch it early on by just observing the woman's mannerisms, right? How many dudes does it, like, because women will never tell you, by the way, like give you an accurate number. I mean, you could sit there and you can ask, how many dudes has she been with? But a lot of women are never going to give you a straight answer. But their behaviors give them away. And you can't marry women like this, man, right? Because you're never going to be enough. They are always going to be thinking about the previous dudes that they have been with. They're always going to feel like they are missing out. A lot of them have these terrible friends who will encourage them to make these bad decisions as well. It's not a winning situation for men. You're essentially gambling your entire future, or at least half of it, right, on the fact that this woman is not going to betray you, and the statistics are in. Okay, guys, the statistics are in, and they are not looking healthy. Let me just say that. So, blah, 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 breaks up with her. Lily did not take the breakup well. She begged Alex to reconsider, insisting that they could make it work, but Alex stood his ground. She kept saying that we could, quote unquote, give it a chance, but I wasn't willing to compromise on something so fundamental. I told her I'd be back to collect my things and that she could keep the apartment. Now, I don't know if they bought this apartment together or if they're renting. But I really hope this dude is not just loaded and decided to give her an apartment. That would be very stupid. I'm kind of just hoping that he's going somewhere else, find somewhere else to rent or maybe stay with some friends temporarily. I hate to see dudes lose assets during this, by the way. Like these sorts of life situations, guys, I absolutely hate it when I see men give away their assets and stuff to women who, quite frankly, usually don't deserve it. The fallout wasn't pretty. Lily's friends and sisters bombarded Alex with angry messages, calling him names and accusing him of being selfish. But despite the backlash, Alex felt a sense of relief. I know it sounds cheesy, but I feel liberated, he shared. I'm sad about how things ended, but I am glad that I didn't ignore the red flags. I deserve someone who values me and our relationship as much as I do. Alex's story is a powerful reminder that relationships require more than love. As one Redditor commenter put it, an open relationship isn't a compromise, it's a fundamental difference in how you view love and commitment. Yeah, so here's the thing. This is exactly what I said at the beginning of the article, guys, is like open marriage, open relationship, you don't have one. If a woman asks for an open relationship or an open marriage, or if she wants a break from your marriage or relationship, that is just, you might as well just call it there because it is already done. But guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. It is good to be back recording videos for you guys. It is not good to be listening to the content because these stories are dumb as hell. And the women on TikTok, I am convinced, are making me lose IQ. But that's totally fine. Guys, do not forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you take care of yourselves. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.